Let's talk now about the two plugins that will save you more time. This is the MultiProcess and MultiProcess Param. So let's say you have a line that you have some remote controls, some text, some parameters, and you want to duplicate this line. But in each of the lines, you are going to need maybe to change the file identifier of the control ID. Maybe you need to change the text, or maybe you need to change the animations. So with these plugins, you will be able to do this. You will need just to add the MultiProcess plugin to the parent. So this is a slot I want to duplicate. And in each container that I want to modify something, I will add a MultiProcess parent. So for example, here in this container, I want to change the container name. So the container name right now is slot 1. I want to look for whenever it's a 1 and change for a number. The number, you can set that the new number is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, or if I set this, it's going to be 02, 03, 04, and if I put this, will be 001, 002, etc. In each copy of the container, I'm going to change the name for slot 2. Also, if I make a new container here, what I want as well is to change the position in X, will be something like -16. So I can say that I want to change the transformation of the container. I can define how many transformations I want to change. For now, I just change just once. And it's going to be transformation position Y. This is going to be an incremental number. And it's going to be incremental by -16. At the same time, whenever I'm going to make any copy, I'm going to change this control text. It has file identifier 01. And description position of the car 1. Okay, so I'm going to add the MultiProcess param here, and I'm going to modify the plugins of this container. I will change one of the plugins. The plugins is going to be the control text. I'm going to modify the file identifier. It's going to be a text, and the text I'm going to look for 01, yep, and modify for 02, 03. Also, I'm going to change another property. I'm going to change the control text plugin, and in the control text plugin, I'm going to modify the description. And it's going to be also a text, and in this case, is car 1, I'm going to change for car 2. And also the container is called number 1. I can change the name of the container for 1, 2. If I go to this other control text plugin, I have position 01, car 1, and logo 1. So I can just copy the plugin for this to this, and this plugin is going to modify the control text, file ID, description, and the name. This one will be also the same. I can just duplicate it. And here, in this case, we have a control image. I can just copy here and say this is going to be the control image is logo 1, so I'm going to modify this plugin. It's going to be a control image and is logo 1 by 1. And the control image description, I'm going to switch logo 1 by 1. Yep. 1 by 1. Also, I can add here as well to modify the control parameter, that is logo 01 size. And this is control parameter, file ID, text. In this case, if I look for the 01 without this, look for the 01 and modify for this one. And if I want to change also the description, logo 1 size, I can add as well the another control parameter description. It's going to be a text. I'm going to switch from 1 to the number. I want also to change the text by default, so I will change the text, and in the text I'm going to look for 1, and I'm going to switch from a number. Okay, let's stop here and see what happened if I executed the plugin right now. So if I go to the parent, the MultiProcess param, first of all, I have the option to create copies, yes or not, because this plugin will allow you to create copies of the first child or update the copies. So in this case, I need to create the copies. I want to create the copies. I'm going to make 8 copies. I can delete all containers in case I want to execute several times. the start index will be the next index I will use for the number. So if the first is slot 1 and I have said that it's going to change the name by slot and the number, this number is the index, and the index will start by 2. So the next container that I will create it will be slot 2. And then I will just need to execute it. And this is going to create me copies from the slot 1 that you can see is called slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. All the names inside has changed to logo 4, position 4, number 4. I am able to see that the position has changed, text has changed. If I go to any file identifier here, this is a slot 4, is card 4, position 4. If I come here, position 4, if I go to the control image, logo 4. Okay, so this is the first step that only with this you will save a lot of time. But let's see what more we can do. Let's say we have one animation in the first container, that we have an alpha animation. If I go to the animation, this animation has been created in one director called slot 1 and it's a child from a slot. If I come here to the multiprocess parent, I'm going to delete everything and create everything again. I execute it. I will see that it's going to make me the copies of the containers and it's going to create all the animations inside the same director. Let's say I don't want to this. I want to have one director for each of the animation. I need to go to the container that has the animation, and in the multiprocess param, we will go to director. And in director, we have one option that is create the director. It's going to create the director. It's going to find in the name of the director. In this case, the director is called slot 1. So I can look for slot 1 and change for a slot and the number. I am able as well to increase the offset to this director. I also can say that I want to duplicate the stop points. So in this case, this slot animation has some stop points. I have here some delay in, delay out. And I want these stop points that in the stop, pause, or tags, or whatever. This, I want to have it duplicated. You also can rename the stop points if you want. In any replace field, if you leave empty, it will do nothing. You also can ask to duplicate the action keyframe. So in this case, I have here one action keyframe that is called animation end, and it has one action keyframe at the end. So I want to duplicate the action keyframes. I want also to make change in the action keyframes that I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to look for this action keyframe that is called on a slot animation end. I am able to change the name of the action keyframe if I want, and I am able to change the action keyframe itself. So if I say look for this director's end 1 and change for director ends number. So let's see how this works. If I go to the multiprocess, I can delete the copies and create the new ones, or I can just remove the creation, and this is going to update the elements that already exist. So if I play, I see now that it has changed all the animations, and it has put them inside each of the elements. And if I go to slot 6, and if I go to this action keyframe, the action keyframe has the end director 6. Another thing that we can do in the multiprocess, we are able as well to change the keyframes. I can look for the keyframe of the pause that is called delete 1. Let's say we want to change this pause. Then I need to change that this is going to be, you need to find in the director. I'm going to find the keyframe by name, and the name of the keyframe is delay 1. And I'm going to increase the pause in 1 second. So I can come back here to the multiprocess, execute it, and then if I play the animation, if I go to slots and I play it, so as I told you, you don't need to create the copies. Whenever the copies has been created, you just need to execute, and this is going to update. It's going to take the first container, it's going to look for all the children's, and it's going to take the second, and it's going to take the same information from the first children in the first information of the next children. If I want to add a new container, this new container is going to change the position of the containers, because whenever I'm going to update this container, this container is the fifth in this children, but in this case it's the fourth, because this is a new container I have created. If I'm going to create a new container, I will need to add the MultiParam plugin, and I need to say that I'm going to change the container, and this is a new container. Okay, I don't need to set anything else because I don't want to do anything with this container. I just want to prevent this is a new container. So whenever I come here and execute, it's going to create the new containers in all the children's, and if I come here to this plugin, it's going to remove the option of new container because the container has been already created. Let's say you add a new plugin to this container. So I have set an auto-follow here. And then what I can say here is the multiprocess. I'm going to change the plugins. I'm going to change one plugin. The plugin that I'm going to change is the auto-follow. And I want to copy the plugin to the new place. So whenever I execute it, the plugin is going to be copied in the new place. This works as well if it doesn't care it's a new plugin. Let's say you already have the plugin, but you change the elements and you change the properties. You are changing a lot of things, and you will need to make this change, all of the change in the other place. So you will need to set, okay, I have changed the center, the local center. I have changed a lot of things here, and I will need to make all these changes in the other things. If I set here copy plugin, that means that in the other containers, the plugin is going to be overwritten with this plugin. So, as you have seen, there is a lot of things you can do with this plugin. You can modify the keyframes, you can look for the keyframes, look for the keyframes in the position of the stage, or look for the keyframes by its name. And in each keyframes, you can modify the time, the pause, and the value in float, init, or vertex. And this could be increased according to the index. And there is much more things that we haven't seen in this video. And if you need anything this plugin is not able to do, just send me a message and we will try to do it. And once that you have finished, you can come to the MultiProcess plugin and you have an option to delete all the plugins. So you can delete all the plugins. Are you sure? Yes. And we refresh the tree and there is no plugins anymore. You don't need to do it. You can save the sync with the plugins and you can have it there for the future if you need to edit. But you also have this option if you want to be clean. I hope you like it. I hope this saved you a lot of time and good luck.